Hi, boys and girls. I'm Rika. Today we're going to read a story in preparation for Passover, and it's called Let My People Go. And it's by Tilda Balsley. A burning bush, and it began. As God told Moses, "Here's my plan." But Moses was a simple man. He said, "I just don't think I can." Poor Moses. God wouldn't hear the answer no and said with Aaron, "You will go. To lead my people from Pharaoh, tell him that your God said so." These are beautiful illustrations. So Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no." A big mistake. He didn't know that God would deal a mighty blow. And there's Pharaoh. "A plague, a plague, a plague," Egyptians to the Pharaoh said. "No more fish. They are all dead. Their God has turned our water red. Where's some water we can drink? We cannot stand this bloody stink. P.U. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no." A plague, a plague, a plague. Frogs were Pharaoh's next nightmare. He cried, "They're hopping everywhere. Tell God to send the frogs away. Then you can go without delay. They're in my oven, in my bed. I think a frog jumped on my head." So Moses prayed, and the frogs were dead. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no." And there's the frogs. "A plague, a plague, a plague," Egyptians cried. "Oh no, now gnats covering cows and dogs and cats, covering us from head to toe. Please, Pharaoh, let those people go." Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, "Let my people go." And what do you think Pharaoh said? No, no, no. "A plague, a plague, a plague." God spread the ground with nasty flies, but Pharaoh answered only lies. "I'll let your people leave this place. Just get these flies out of my face." When Moses said, "It's done, we'll go," what do you think Pharaoh said? No, no, no. "A plague, a plague, a plague." Soon animals began to die. Egyptians pleaded, "Hear our cry. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, why? But Pharaoh still would not comply. Then Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh. Our God says, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no." "A plague, a plague, a plague," Egyptians moaned and cried in dread. And dread to see their skin turn purply red, and nasty boils began to appear, but Pharaoh was an old hard head. When Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh, our God says, "Let my people go." And Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no." A plague, a plague, a plague. God continued the campaign with hail and thunder, mighty rain. There'd never been a worse event. It looked like Pharaoh might relent. When Moses spoke to mean Pharaoh, our God says, "Let my people go." Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no." There's all the lightning and rain. A plague, a plague, a plague. Now God sent down a new command, and Moses, with his outstretched hand, sent hungry locusts throughout the land. Said Pharaoh, "This I cannot stand. Lead Egypt now as you have planned." But when the people packed to go, what do you think Pharaoh did? Pharaoh shouted, "No, no, no." There are the locusts. A plague, a plague, a plague. Then Egypt had 3 nights of night while Israelites enjoyed God's light. So Pharaoh, tired of the fight, said, "Wives and children all can go. You cannot take your livestock, though." He really didn't mean it, so he soon was shouting, "No, no, no." A plague, a plague, a plague. God through Moses said, "Beware, this plague is bad, beyond compare. Death to every firstborn son, from royal born to poorest one. But sons of Israel I will spare, so listen now, you must prepare." And as God struck this final blow, Pharaoh shouted, "Go, go, go." And all the people were finally able to go. And there they are, all on their way out of Egypt. And this was the book, Let My People Go. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy Passover, happy Pesach, everyone, and stay healthy.